So we're here with Kevin Cohey, and he is the CEO of OneUnited Bank, one of the largest Black-owned banks in America. And super happy to have you today. How you doing today? You doing good?
I'm doing fabulous, but I do want to correct you. We are the
Correct me,
largest
please.
Black.
Oh,
We're the
excuse me,
largest
not one of the
Black-owned bank.
largest, the
Not
largest.
one of them, the largest. And it's an important issue because OneUnited Bank is truly Black-owned. We're not Black-led. We're not just a bank that's owned by white people and has Black managers, because as you know, Black folks manage the plantations. And so we take great pride in the fact that we are a Black-owned company, a legitimate Black-owned company.
And it's very, very important that you say that, because there are a lot of companies that speak to Black people or try to act like they're Black owned or have the emphasis of Black people being in their structure. They have managers, they have, certain positions. I always like the whole
Exactly.
chief diversity. That is the go-to black position for some of these high-powered companies. So the fact that OneUnited is truly Black-owned is definitely amazing. And we've done many profiles and pieces and news alerts and things like that on OneUnited. So it's super exciting to speak with you today and to just share more information about OneUnited and talk about a couple of the things that you guys have going on.
Well, we appreciate your support. We cannot do this without our community and leaders such as yourself. So thank you very much for being you. We really appreciate you.
Well, it's awesome. Well, first things first, I want to kick off with the first thing that we got information that's coming out, which is the OneUnited OneTransaction campaign. Can you tell me a little bit more about that campaign?
Okay. Well, to let me put it in perspective, because I think it's important. Because as Black Americans, we reach some critical inflection points, which offer up great opportunity for us individually and as a community. It starts with the fact that the dream of our forefathers, certainly since the end of slavery, of Black Americans and their allies being organized to effect change, has finally become a reality as a result of the internet and social media. So from W.E.B. Du Bois to Malcolm X, we knew we needed to be organized. Right. And you can remember back in the day, we talked about stuff like the Million Man March.
Right.
Well, it's the quasi-essential gentleman. You could hit 1 million people and virtually instantaneously on social media.
Exactly.
So the world has changed for the better, and that's a very important phenomenon to recognize. Because as you look at this thing in South Georgia where some vigilantes killed an innocent Black man. There's nothing new to that. That's been happening since we got here in 1619. Here again, same thing with the situation up in Minneapolis, Minnesota. A rogue policeman kills innocent Black man. Once again, it's been happening since 1619. What's different is that because of the internet and tools like social media, we can get justice. We can bring these criminals to justice through the pressure that we can put on through social media. So that's the big change. And it's affecting, it's pervading society and the opportunities that are available for all people, but certainly for Black Americans and its allies. So now where we are is we have this big organized group that's also mechanized. And by that, I mean, we're not just organized, we have the ability to take action to affect change. So that's a very big thing. So now you have this group that, although let's call it 13% of the population, is well organized and well mechanized. And so now comes the the point where you actually need leaders. You need somebody to provide information to this group to affect change within the group, to get the group to take action that's going to make the group better. And that's where the leadership comes in. This is the time when we need our leadership to step up.
Right.
Your institutions like OneUnited Bank, and that's the significance of what I just talked to you about, this whole being Black, actually being Black owned thing, where you have to take responsibility for being a leader in your area of expertise. In our case, it's economics, it's social economics and how to create social economic change in a society. So that's what we're working on now. The conference you mentioned, it's more than a conference. The OneTransaction is a campaign that one of the events in that campaign is this free virtual conference on Juneteenth Day. But the campaign doesn't start, it's already started, and it doesn't end with the massive event on June 19th. The June 19th thing is just a opportunity for all of Black America to be able to get access to information about the financial transactions that will increase your net worth in an environment where people are striving to make the financial information understandable. See, the challenge with financial information is not that financial transactions are difficult. It's just that people who understand financial transactions aren't at the best at communicating to others what they're talking about. They hide behind jargon and things of that nature that people can't understand. We're going to do it as they used to say in the country, we're going to put it where the goats can get it. And the significance of that is this is plain speak about the 6 transactions that build your network. We want to teach Black Americans to understand how to do the transactions. And then we want to also inspire and motivate them to actually complete the transactions one at a time. And if you do that, it will systematically increase your net worth. It'd be just like if you and me get together and I, focus you on the transactions necessary to build wealth. Not that you're not already doing a great job at it, but it would encourage you. We all need coaches. We all need life coaches. And what OneUnited tries to do is to be a coach on financial and social issues for Black America. That's the role we see ourselves playing in society. So it's a free conference. Doesn't cost you anything. I repeat, it's free.
Right.
You come. Nobody's trying to sell you. Nobody's trying to sell you anything. It's all for the common good. It's to make us better as the people, to understand how the transaction works. We're going to have all these prominent experts. We're going to have folks like Damon John there, Michelle Singletary, the Budgetnista. We're going to have many of the best people in the African American community to explain these financial matters so we can deal with this issue. Let's put it on the table. We're sitting here with white American families having 10 times the net worth we have, like 10 times. Now, that being said, when we looked at it, we said, well, okay, here, Black families have an average net worth of $17,000. White families have an average net worth of $171,000. Wow. The thing about it even though it's 10 times, in today's dollars, it's really not that much money. It's really one good transaction. One single family purchase in most places in this country will grow to over $100,000 within a very short period of time. Here again, I happen to be in Los Angeles at the moment, but there's no place in Los Angeles you could have bought a house. Right. 3 years ago, much less 5 years ago, it wouldn't be worth over $100,000 more. Right. So that's why we call it one transaction, because we said, as bad as this seems with the 10 times thing, in today's term, that's one transaction, one good well thought out strategic transaction will transform network. So our thing is all about, we want to inspire you as the individual, and then we want to make financial literacy a core value of our community. I want the conversation when I'm talking about, when we're just talking, we're kicking it, we're sitting there watching the game or something. I'm saying to you, well, what does your stock portfolio look like, man? Like, what's happening for you here? Like, well, you got some insurance. How much did you pay for it? What did it cover? You know, I know you're young, but have you ever thought about a will? Because, hey, guess what? Things happen out here. And if we as a people, when we as a people start to develop this core competency if we think we will, that will transform our economic position in society, which gives us social and political power, and we can finally start to overcome the overhang of this systemic racism that we've been dealing with.
So to go back to the virtual conference, I mean, this is amazing that you guys are putting this on, and you have so many thought leaders that look like us who are able to speak on these particular topics. And the financial literacy piece is something that we've been talking about, a lot of people have been talking about, but to your point, it becomes sometimes challenging because the jargon or how it's framed. So this virtual conference will be able to help various people. It will help people at various levels of financial stability. You know, it may be somebody who's young, just got out of college, could benefit from it, or a, you know, mother and father who just had a child trying to plan for the future, right?
Or somebody like me who's already a financial expert, but can still learn and grow. Like we all can learn and grow. I couldn't have said it better, man. That was perfect. It covers a wide range of ages, a wide range of social economic situations, from people who have nothing to people who have more. We all can improve our net worth, and we all need to be systematic in our thinking about how to improve your net worth. Here again, this is not something we're guessing about. These transactions will improve your net worth. And that's something that that becomes part of a people. We can have our population, we can have our demographic, we can have Black America and its allies really focused on this issue, thinking about this issue, making it a part of their day-to-day life. And that's the opportunity that exists today. The internet as we all saw the impact that it had on the social justice issues that we were just dealing with. It can have that same impact on social economic issues as well, social political issues as well. That's what's so unique about our time. It's almost like when California, when people were rushing out to California to find gold. This is the modern day gold rush. It's economic opportunity like that has never existed before. What you're doing right here, this is a business that's created based. You created a technology-based business. How long will it be before you start overlaying affiliate programs onto this and selling product and service? I mean, you can see the enterprise. This is the next great media empire existing right before our face, and then it's coming together. Well, man, I met Kev, and then we and Kev start talking. That he laid it on me about some ways that I could take my technology business and expand it. And before I knew it, here I am. That's how I ended up sitting on this yacht.
Exactly. Listen, you ain't saying nothing. I'm gonna call you after this interview, and we're gonna talk. We're gonna have a whole consultation.
That's what I was born to do. So I mean, that's it. If I can't talk to you, who am I going to talk to? Right. Okay. Okay. Whether we like it or not, we are brothers. Okay, we are connected. We can't disconnect. We try to disconnect, everybody's gonna put us right back together. We're gonna be right here where we are now. Okay, so that's what this is all about. It's about knowledge. it's about inspiration, it's about motivation, and taking advantage of a society that has the greatest economic opportunity that ever existed in the history of mankind. This internet, it doesn't care if you make the product or not. It doesn't care where you went to school. It doesn't care who your daddy was. It just cares that you know how to identify people and sell goods and services. That's what the internet cares about.
So you speak about financial allies. Tell me a little bit more about what is a financial ally and how you can go to find one and the importance of a financial ally.
Well, I was talking earlier about the concept of allies in general, but you certainly need one type of ally is a financial ally. And allies are people who are drawn to you for whatever reason. They can help you in your journey. What we saw with the social justice movement that happened, last year, is that it wasn't just about Black people. It's not just Black people who believe in our democracy. It's not just Black people who believe that all men and women are created equal with liberty and justice for all. Black people didn't create that. Now, we perfected it.
Right.
Our role since we got here in 1619, a big contribution we made to America is perfection of our democracy. We have made our democracy better, and we continue to make it better through our struggle for equality. Our struggle for equality makes America a better place. And so that's when you looked at the protest movement, it wasn't just Black people, it was white people and yellow people and brown people all coming together for a common cause. We're not out here by ourselves. We're part of a broader group that we call Black America and its allies that come together and have come together over the years to make America a better place, to allow for the dream of America to be a reality.
So what is OneUnited Bank doing to support small Black-owned businesses specifically?
Okay. We do any number of things. And OneUnited Bank is a perfect example of what you would call a financial ally. Okay. So specifically, everything that we just talked about, like everything from the Paycheck Protection Program. Okay, let's take that program as an example. With OneUnited Bank, and here again, this was widely circulated, and it's all over the press. What was different about the way we approached the Paycheck Protection Program was our first loan was to an Uber driver, a mother, a single mother with 7 kids. Okay, now remember, first, all the other banks were running around trying to find their biggest customer who they would have to do the least amount of work on, because that big customer would have accountants and tax lawyers and be able to put everything together, and they would earn a fee. Well, that's not what we do. We got down with our little worn out tools and took the most difficult situations to try to make sure that resources were available to those people. That's one example of what we do. We also, in our financing, we created a number of Black millionaires, period, just flat out. I mean, I would say probably more than anybody's ever created, because we finance certain types of enterprises. So providing education, being there to provide products and services that do things like help you to rebuild your credit. That's one of the 6 steps that people say, well, how can be what kind of transaction is rebuilding your credit? I would say it's probably the most important one, because if you rebuild your credit, that gives you access to capital and other resources from other people that allow you to expand. So we actually have products that that improve people's credit. We also have products that allow people to re-access the banking system. So see, a lot of our work is in the beginning. In the beginning, you can't get a bank account because when you were 19 years old, you ended up bouncing some checks,
right.
And now you're in check systems, and nobody wants to even let you open a bank account.
Right.
Somebody's got to be there. And see, OneUnited is we on the street, man. We do this from the bottom up.
Mm-hmm.
So another example would be we're creating a program right now where we're creating I don't want to announce the deal right here, but it's something that will expand our capacity to do small business loans on a national basis. We design that system, we design that technology to be able to do SBA loans on a national basis. That's the program we're introducing. So everything from taking the individual and helping to repair that person so that they can get credit, so that they can get access to a bank, to execution of government programs like the PPP, and then to using, having an existing book of business. We've lent billions, not millions of dollars, largely into low to moderate income communities. So that being said, it's we're not magicians, we are bankers. So what we do is what we can. And what we try to do is things like this thing I'm just telling you about. The OneTransaction has a whole piece of it is going to be on small business development and small business opportunity, where we're going to be talking about the things that I'm talking to you about right now, which is, hey, how do you take this quasi-essential brand, by the way, that's just an amazing name, and how do you take that media technology company, and then how do you expand it? Okay, that's what this conference is doing. That's what I encourage you to be at the conference, because that's one of the things they're going to be talking about. Yep. And so playing that role as a company that's doing that on a national basis. And now remember, we're not the government, okay? Right. But we know that the government often can't do this kind of work. Government, is intervention by the
heavily
government,
regulated and very party lines and things like that. So
all the stuff, and I mean, it's critical. It's government is a critically important role to helping us as a people, but we also have to be in there, and our institutions have to be in there in order to move the people. So that's what we do, man. We educate, we provide helping hands, we do the hard in the street community work.
Yep.
Can we do everything that people might want us to do? No, but we try really hard. We're genuine in our efforts, and we're a really, really sophisticated group of really, really smart people who are dedicated to the empowerment and betterment of Black America.
Awesome. And I have two more questions for you. I know you have to go. My one question is, I'm interested to know about how the social media conversations around banking Black has impacted a bank like OneUnited. There were so many conversations during the pandemic, which we're currently in, but even more the social justice conversations that are around us owning more of our own stuff and really focusing and supporting the ones that support us. How did that translate during that time and across, over last year in terms of the growth of a bank like OneUnited?
Well, okay, I can take it at from two perspectives. Let's start with the impact it had on OneUnited. It more than doubled OneUnited Bank's customer base. OneUnited Bank is growing at a torrid pace. It was growing at over 100%. So we were sitting here during the pandemic. We had to build out 2 new customer service centers. We had to build out a dramatic expansion of our Miami customer service operation, a dramatic expansion of our Los Angeles customer service operation. We're putting on all of these accounts, and we had to work our staff really, really hard during a really, really difficult time. So the bank had to stand up to support the community at this critical time, because it was the other thing that we've been promoting and educating people on, is that we are going toward a cashless society. It is happening, okay? The pandemic only made what was happening already happen faster. So see, our people love to do things like get paid from their neo economy jobs like Uber or Lyft, to spend money with their friends using things like Cash App and Venmo and Zelle. So we have a very app-based culture that likes to engage in what we call frictionless transactions, and be able to have very good records of what you're doing and when it's happening, because of so many of us live on what we call 14-day cash cycles. We need to know what's happening with our money. So
every
for us,
2 weeks,
for this, we're not talking about going into a bank branch. We're not checking for that. We want our bank to be right here. We want to know what our balance is. We want to be able to move money over to Eddie or Susie when we want to. We want to be able to get that check for that work that we just did, doing whatever it was we did on whatever our hustle was. And so our products allow for that process to happen easier. We have it set up so you could go in over 100,000 locations. I don't know if you know it, but you can go into 7-Eleven and put some money on your card with OneUnited Bank as an example. I mean,
know that.
7-Elevens, Walmarts, any brand, you could go walk in there and say, show them your OneUnited Bank debit card, and you can load it up right there. We have over 100,000 places where you can locate it, where you could do that. We also have a national ATM network. And so we have a product that fits the needs of modern society. So because of that, and as you know, when we went into the pandemic, everybody suddenly realized, oh man, I can't put money into my computer. I got to have a debit card. I got to be able to engage in cashless transactions, because we had spent so many years and so much money building out that technology and have a state-of-the-art product for that drew all this business into us. So we are an example of a technology company that was growing as a result of the need for technology increasing, in this case, because of the pandemic. So OneUnited Bank is truly a 10X, man. It's a 10X growth situation. So it's a real deal fintech with high growth potential, wholly apart from being Black-owned. Okay.
Amazing.
Now, yeah. I mean, we're an example of Black excellence, man. That's what we do. Okay. I mean, and then the other part, it goes to this. Okay, like you mentioned, Bank Black. Well, now the amazing thing about that is you mentioned it. Well, who do you think literally owns that term, Bank Black? You got OneUnited Bank. We created that, okay. And so we work very hard to affect change in our society. Things like the Harriet Tubman card, like by the way, you got to check this out. We just introduced our new Solidarity card. It is cold. I mean, this thing is icy.
Gotta see it.
I mean, you gotta see it, man. Just go on the website. It's one of our flyer cards, if not our flyest card ever. But last year we introduced the Harriet Tubman card, and which we did from a painting. We commissioned this painter, great painter, Adonis Parker. Just amazing. And he did a painting for us several years ago. And what we were trying to do is, at that point, we were thinking about our heroes and heroines and the importance of Black people having, you know, people that they can look to that exemplify success, courage, those kind of things, love. And to us, Harriet Tubman was the ultimate example of Black love, because think about it, you free and you're gonna go back and help somebody else, man, that's a very special kind of love and peace. So the painting was that we took the American Sign Language symbol for peace and love, and then had Harriet Tubman do that signal, you know. And then what was interesting is years later, this movie came out called Black Panther. And they do this thing called the Wakanda salute, which is the American Sign Language for peace and love, which is what Harriet Tubman was doing. And so they were like, "Oh man, you got Harriet Tubman throwing up the Wakanda salute." You know? And so, you know, it was you know, it's kind of funny. It ended up on TMZ, Saturday Night Live, and all of this stuff, which was for us part of what we were doing. That's a marketing technique. And so what it did is it reignited the whole discussion related to Harriet Tubman to the point where, you know, it exploded on Twitter. So the whole Harriet Tubman thing, it got revived because under the last administration, they had killed the idea of Harriet Tubman being on the $20 bill. Well, then guess now a year later, then what's the first thing that happens in this administration? One of the first things, they're like, oh, we need to put Harriet Tubman on the $20 bill. Right. And we'll say, look, man, okay, was that all attributed to OneUnited Bank? No. But some of it was. Okay.
Some of it, they got the idea from somewhere.
They got it from all over, everywhere. It was all across the United States. People talking about Harriet Tubman, and that awareness caused them to recognize that, oh, Harriet Tubman is an important figure to Black Americans and an important figure to this country. And how are we going to have a currency when you have this group of people that was so instrumental to the growth and development of the entire country since 1619, and we're not going to be on the currency? Come on, man. I mean, you know, that just can't be. So that was a OneUnited Bank project. Now, this is another one we're doing this year. And then next year, the goal of the OneTransaction program is to get America, and it's already starting to happen. And, you know, first, you know, sometimes, you know, we look up and we see, you know, these corporations and folks, you know, using our exact same language and, you know, everything, but that's great. That inspiration is part of our role. And now people are focused on this, closing the racial wealth gap, creating a situation where information is made available through the utilization of technology and clever marketing to inspire. And we are hoping by this time next year that financial literacy will be becoming or have become a core value of Black Americans, where we're actually talking about it. And see, that's what the internet could do. See, the old school, oh, hey, go read this book, go take this class, all that, man, that's not happening. Nobody's doing that. Okay, nobody's checking for that. But we understand TikTok, we understand the gram, we understand Twitter, okay, we understand how to be funny, creative, interesting, and exciting. And then you bring that energy, and then if you can get some of the Black influencers to back what you're doing, you know, guys like yourself, back in what you're doing, then that's how we change society. We look up, and then out of nowhere, they're like, oh man, you know, Black people are just really interested in finance. You know, like,
Black which we should be. And we should be.
And then they'll be like, well, where did that come from?
Right. You know? Very true. My last question for you. So we're actually coming up 100 years from the Tulsa race riots.
Right.
And, you know, that was a city, Black Wall Street. And as someone who is a part of the largest Black owned banks, I'm wondering what your thoughts are on a city, a population, a society that is completely Black owned, that was kind of similar to um, Black Wall Street. What is your thoughts on that?
Well, my thoughts are that you know, that's old technology.
Mm,
See, you and I, like, in effect, are living together, are living in the same neighborhood right now. We don't have to be in the same city,
mhm,
okay? We don't have to be in the same city to be neighbors. We don't have to be in the same city to do business with each other. We don't have to be in the same city to help each other.
right.
That we shouldn't constrain ourselves by old technology, i.e., you know, we had to live next to each other, so I
Mhm,
could go to your shop and you could come to my shop, and our kids can know each other, so they know something about life, about
mhm,
financial literacy, as an example. The internet allows us to be together as a community without being together physically,
geographically. Yep.
and that's the key. So trying to, you know, looking back with nostalgia at your history, it's important. Our history is important. It's where we came from. But when we're
Mhm,
thinking about the future, we got to think about the future, and we have to avail ourselves of the best of everything. We have to avail ourselves of the best of technology, which includes being able to connect with. Think about, if you lived in Tulsa, you would be limited to the Black people who live in Tulsa.
mhm.
Well, why would you do that, quasi-essential gentleman? You're touching people on a nationwide basis. As I'm sitting here talking to you now, you hitting people from San Diego to New York City. Yeah, I mean,
Yep.
you gangster like that. And so
Yep.
so it's like, you know, so you're beyond that. You
Right.
know, your
Right.
aspirations. I'm seeing the quasi-essential gentleman in Africa and London.
Quintessential. Quintessential.
Oh,
Hold up.
quintessential.
Quintessential.
Put me on. I love it.
I'm gonna
Quintessential.
get you a hoodie. I'm gonna send you one out.
Man, now see, now you just made my day. You know, I didn't want to have to ask for one. I just thought I'd talk around
I
it.
got you. I got you.
I
Don't you
talked
worry.
around it long enough. So quintessential. Okay.
Quintessential gentleman. Yes, sir.
Okay, but now they're quintessential gentlemen in London. They're quintessential gentlemen in Ghana,
Hmm.
and so you know, limiting, and you know, I'm using you as an example.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
but you know, you're bigger than that, man. You worldwide. Okay, and so we're talking about, look, I appreciate. I study history. So I appreciate the great sacrifice and the great accomplishments of what happened in Tulsa, but that's not a role model, man. Our role model has to be based on where we are in society. We want to get the unity and the love that existed out of Tulsa. That's our heart. That's our heart. But our tactics, our strategies, our tactics, we got to be on a world tour. We got to
Right.
be
Right.
pumping. We got to be national. We got to participate not in just local, but regional and national and
And
international economies.
global. Yep. Yep. You said it right there. That's what I like to hear.